Today, the public will have noticed an increased police presence both in the village of Dannemora and in Willsboro in Essex County. We continue to go door to door, checking homes and seasonal residences, and we continue to do vehicle checks at a number of roadblocks in the area. We have more than 450 law enforcement members working on this search. In addition to the New York State Police, we have the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, our forest rangers, FBI, U.S. Marshals, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, all working together as one team. The New York State Police and the Vermont State Police are working hand in hand to secure our state's borders. One of the things that we developed during our investigation was information that there was a possibility of them fleeing towards Vermont. It was mentioned early on. We've reached out, we've been hand in hand with the Vermont State Police on working to secure the borders, and today we're just formalizing our arrangement, our agreement. We'll be able to deploy New York State troopers across the Vermont and New York State line should it be required for searches. And again, that's if leads take us there. In addition, we've conducted interviews with inmates, correction officers, contract employees, and anyone else working here at Clinton Correctional. I won't get into specifics on how these interviews went or who was interviewed or who wasn't, but we continue to ask the public for their assistance in their investigation, looking for any suspicious activity that they might see in their communities, anything that they see that's out of the ordinary, and we urge them to contact law enforcement. We ask the public to remain vigilant. These men are considered extremely dangerous. Please call 911 immediately if you should see these inmates. If you own a seasonal camp and you notice anything out of place when you arrive, please don't hesitate. Call the police. We want to remind the public, again, do not try to approach these men. They're extremely dangerous. If you have any information on these inmates or their escape, or if you can help us in any way, please call our tip line, 1-800-GIVE-TIP, G-I-V-E-T-I-P. I'd also like to remind the public that New York State is offering a $100,000 reward for information that leads to the capture of both of these men. I just want to thank the public for their patience. We've received hundreds of tips, not only through our tip line, but through social media. We've actually topped millions of people contacting us to try to assist us and to get information. So please, I just ask, stay aware, report any information, any signings. Now at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Colonel from the Vermont State Police, Colonel Tom Lesperance.
Appreciate it. I'm Tommy Lesperance, the Colonel of the State Police in Vermont. I just wanted to thank the New York State Police, the Governor's Office, both in Vermont and New York, for bringing us over here today just to follow up with some information. We have troopers working along the lake. The Marine Division's been activated to work the lake shore, along with troopers in remote sections of Vermont. We're checking campsites. We'll be passing out leaflets along those campsites, those public campgrounds, both state and private. I want to thank the Vermont media in particular for keeping us so aware in Vermont as to what's been developing here in New York. At this point, the Governor.
Thank you, Colonel Lesperance. Thank you, Superintendent D'Amico. Thank you, Colonel Lesperance. I'm also delighted to be here with my Commissioner of Public Safety, Commissioner Flynn. Most importantly, I'm delighted to be here with Governor Cuomo of New York, in New York. Governor Cuomo and I are committed to doing everything that we can to keeping the folks in Vermont and New York safe as we hunt down these two inmates that are clearly dangerous people. Governor Cuomo called me this morning and informed me that although we don't know where they are or where they've gone, that there's some indication that one of their destinations, the destination they might have indicated, was the state of Vermont. So we have taken a number of actions together to ensure that our law enforcement community has no obstacles to apprehending these two criminals. I've directed my state police to do the following 5 things. 1, we have sent a Vermont State Police liaison to the command post in New York so that we're working seamlessly to move information. 2, the Vermont State Police technical team is ready to respond to all available tips from the public. And as Governor Cuomo will tell you, we need all the tips from the public that might be out there. We need the public to help us solve this challenge. We also will be ensuring that our entire Vermont State Police team is ready for action should they be needed. 3, public awareness. We're going to be doing public awareness campaigns to inform members of the public who might not be connected to internet, might not be watching television, who these folks are, what they look like. We'll be doing that in our state parks. We'll be doing that in remote campgrounds and areas where we think they may well be headed. 4, we've deployed our Vermont State Police marine assets on Lake Champlain. And obviously we have deployed them from our headquarters in St. Albans, Williston, and the New Haven Barracks. 5th, our A and C troops are going to be doing direct patrols along the lake borders. And finally, the Vermont Crime Information Center is in direct contact with our New York State Intelligence Center for all kinds of information sharing that we will hope will be helpful. I just want to say to Vermonters, this is no time to panic. It's a time to be sensible. If you see suspicious people, don't go near them. Call law enforcement. Lock your doors. Make sure that you're being vigilant. And let's work together to get these 2 dangerous men locked up once again. I want to turn it over now to Governor Cuomo. I don't think there's a governor who is more concerned about finding these 2 folks than Governor Cuomo, because he cares deeply about the welfare and the safety of the people of New York. So we're in this as a team. I'm grateful to him for reaching out to me, to working so cooperatively, and I give you now the great governor of the state of New York, Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking all the law enforcement that has been working very long and hard. It's been a long few days. The State Police of New York have done a great job. The local police, Clinton County, Franklin County, our federal partners, the FBI has been extraordinarily helpful. And the coordination among all these different law enforcement agencies has really been something to behold. Governor Shumlin, I can't thank him enough for his responsiveness, and his Commissioner of Public Safety and the Vermont State Police. We have information that would suggest that Vermont was discussed as a possible location, and the governor was very generous in saying that he would be fully cooperative. The Governor Shumlin has always been a good neighbor to the state of New York. We do a lot together. A lot of times it's good news and it's positive news, and this time, unfortunately, it is a less attractive undertaking, but no doubt a very necessary undertaking. We need to find these escapees. They are dangerous men. They are killers. They are murderers. There's no reason to believe they wouldn't do it again. They're going to be more desperate than ever. So we're doing everything we can. It's a top priority to find them and to bring them back. If they are headed towards Vermont, as you heard from Governor Shumlin, Vermont is engaged and Vermont is mobilized, and we're working hand in glove, and we will be coordinating several times a day to make sure that every lead we have, every piece of information is shared. From the point of view of public safety, these people are dangerous. They're dangerous to New York residents, and they're dangerous to residents of the state of Vermont. So this kind of coordination and partnership makes total sense. We're also been in contact with our other surrounding states. But again, as we had information that would suggest this Vermont as a possible destination, we're making a special effort. The only way to pursue this type of investigation is to follow every lead that you have, and follow every lead as if this is the one that's going to break the case. So whether it's traveling to Hillsborough, or doing house-to-house searches in Dannemora, or coordinating with Vermont, if that tip turns out to be true, you just follow each and every one with all the energy and all the vim that you can muster. And that's what we're doing. At the same time, we have employees from the prison that are being interviewed. and that is a very consistent exercise that we're going through. The media has reported on one woman in particular who is a subject who's being interviewed, and that's correct, but we're also working through everything we've been discussing the past few days. Other employees, contractors, still working through an investigation, how power tools were acquired, all that is ongoing. So to the extent there are lessons to be learned here, fine, we want to learn those lessons. And we're going down both tracks simultaneously. First track, find the escapees, find them before they do any harm, get them back behind bars. That's where they belong. Second, how did this happen? Are there any lessons to learn, any systems to change to make sure that it doesn't happen again? Let me end where I began. I want to thank Governor Shumlin for being a good neighbor. I want to thank the people of Vermont for their help. I want to urge the people of Vermont to take this seriously. And as you heard, report any suspicious behavior. These are not people to be trifled with. This is not just another prison, Clinton Correctional. This is one of the prisons in the state of New York that holds the most difficult inmates. So trust me, these men are nothing to be trifled with. Again, I thank the governor, I thank his state police, I thank his Commissioner of Public Safety. Any questions for myself or the governor or the state police, please feel free.
Governor Cuomo, what does it say to you that these two men have still not been caught?
It says we have to continue to follow every lead and work very hard to find the men. As we discussed initially, it's very possible that they had a several-hour head start on us. We found out that they were gone in the early morning hours, approximately 5:30. They could have been, they could have escaped as early as midnight, 11 o'clock. So they had a several-hour head start to begin with. We've had an exhaustive effort, as you know. It's not for lack of trying, but we're going to redouble our efforts, and we're going to keep looking until we find them. I am confident we will find them. The only question is when.
Governor Shumlin, can you confirm that these men may have had a plan to go to a cabin in Vermont?
I'm going to be careful of what I confirm because this is an ongoing investigation. What I can tell you is that we have information that suggests that they thought that New York was going to be hot, Vermont would be cooler in terms of law enforcement, and that a camp in Vermont might be a better place to be than New York.
Do you know where in Vermont?
We do not.
Colonel Lesperance, can you speak to what's being done when you guys first were contacted from New York? And what's being done, for example, at the ferries? Coming across today, it didn't seem like anything was really stepped up at all. Talk about like the different borders. And
Sure.
stuff.
I was contacted immediately after the break through emails with New York State Police and their information, their NYSEC. And immediately we deployed troopers up to the Grand Isle and down to Charlotte, patrolling those ferry areas. We had a tactical team deployed up in the islands just in case there was a sighting that would come up in that area. We've been on this working hand in hand with New York State Police. They've been sharing all the information, all the relevant information that speaks towards Vermont, especially. We have a trooper that's deployed here now to their command center as well.
I'm wondering about that Hillsborough tip that you had yesterday. You were searching that area. Do you believe that's a credible tip still, or are you still searching that area?
We are still searching in that area. The tip that we were following up was a sighting on two individuals who could have fit the description, not confirmed that they were our escapees, but out of due caution, we deployed and we did a pretty thorough search, which continues, but no confirmation that they were our escapees.
Did that tip on Vermont come from interviews with insiders, either employees or inmates?
I'll just say that during the course of the investigation that we did develop information that had been discussed by these men prior to their escape, the possibility of going to Vermont and finding a location in Vermont. I'm not prepared to go into where it came from.
Governor Cuomo, is it the belief that they're working with people and getting help, or that they're still on their own?
No, I mean, I think the governor confirmed that. We have spoken to the female that the media has widely reported on. Obviously, she was befriended, or she befriended the inmates and may have had some sort of role in assisting them, but I'm not prepared to go into details on that. I'm not prepared to go into those details.
Way over there on the left.
Yes, young lady.
Is it still the belief that they're maybe working with someone or that they're on their own?
Yeah, I mean, we're going on the premise that, we don't know that they've left the state or that they've left the area. And, we take it just as serious to search in the area around here as we are in the Willsboro area, in the Vermont area, or anything else. Until we have them in custody, we're not going to discount any of it. As the governor said, they could have had a pretty good lead on us. But, we can't confirm whether they took advantage of that or not.
Of the 500 tips you've gotten, how many would you consider credible or not at this point for pursuing accurately?
We take every one of these tips seriously. You never know which one is going to be the one that leads you. We're doing two parts of this case. We have an investigative piece that's kind of delving into all the aspects before and after, and there's the physical search. It's mostly what you see here. And every possible sighting we follow up on, every piece of information we follow up on. I would just say that none of them have developed the cause to put them in custody yet, so we're still working hard.
Any indication they've gotten a vehicle or that they're still on foot?
I have no information on where they are or what they're doing, I'll be honest with you.
All right, we've got to wrap it up. What privileges do they have besides the prison?
I'm sorry?
What kind of privileges do they have besides the prison?
I can't speak on their corrections treatment. I mean, again, it's been just what you read in the media that they were model employees, model prisoners. We have plenty of resources between New York State Police, New York State Docs, Environmental Protection, the FBI, who are always tremendous partners to us, and Customs and Border Protection. We have a lot of people on the ground. We're in various areas throughout the state if we needed to. We have a very big state police, and we'll bring in whatever resources are necessary to be effective. So.
Thank you, guys.